Sister, what are you doing?
Para to sa good spirituality, partner.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, and related ito sa pag-usapan natin today.
Okay, but before anything else, let's drink coffee first. Welcome to the Coffee for an Issue. I'm Kim, your beloved host.
I'm JR, your lovely and smart host. Good morning, people on Earth.
Partner, you mentioned earlier about spirituality. Pwede mo na bang ipakilala sa ating mga viewers kung ano ang topic natin about spirituality?
Our topic for today is about beliefs and practices of Hinduism and its relevance to the current issue of pandemic. And also, let's welcome our guests.
We have special guests here today for this episode. Let us welcome Mr. Verano and Mr. Aban. They are Hindu gurus. Ms. Shane Romero, one of our health officials in our country. And last but not the least, Ms. Casey Gallio, our trusted political analyst. Welcome everyone to our show.
Thank you for coming here. But before we start our discussion, I have to ask you one question. Kamusta naman po kayo this pandemic? And let's start with Mr. Verano.
I'm very good naman and doing a lot of yoga and praying this pandemic. But I'm still adjusting sa new normal, lalo na sa technology side. Kasi ayun na madalas ginagamit lalo na ngayon. Medyo nahihirapan pa ako sa paggamit pero I'm fine.
Wow, that's good to hear, Mr. Verano. How about you, Mr. Aban?
I'm also doing great and I have online session for my students.
Wow, that's interesting. Maybe I can join your Zoom meetings too. Miss Romero, how are you coping up with our situation today?
I'm also doing great this pandemic, although it's hard for me to cope up with this new normal setup because obviously this is the first time to most of us to experience this kind of situation. But we don't have any choice but to adopt and adjust to it. So to relieve my stress, I'm taking care of plants in our house.
You're a plant tita. Well, that's good. Can you recommend me some plants next time?
Yes, of course. You know, this is the new trend to all of us. Plants.
Thank you very much, Miss Romero. Miss Gallo, how are you and your family?
We're fine but struggling because of this pandemic, no? But mas na-develop yung bond between me and my family. And I take care most of my pamangkins most of the time. And I'm WFH. I'm work from home because we're not allowed to go out nga, di ba?
I feel the same way as you, Miss Gallo. It's good to hear that all of you are doing well.
I have to ask you a question. Mr. Verano and Mr. Aban, can you tell us something about Hinduism, like the beliefs and practices? Because to be honest, Miss Kim and me, we know a bit of information about Hinduism.
Of course, yes. Hinduism is the oldest religion in the humanity, and it was found in the 1500 BCE or earlier. It is the third largest religion in the world. Hinduism was developed and evolved over a long time in India. It gave rise to a variety of beliefs and practices. This religion doesn't have any founder to all.
Hinduism has many deities, even if it doesn't have any founder. Hinduism believe in Brahman. Brahman is the eternal being that they believe he preserved and the earth and everything in the world is an aspect of Brahman. Atman is the soul of each person that cannot be destroyed since they believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation or rebirth is being born again in the world lifetime after lifetime and the aspect of an individual that persists after bodily death, whether it be consciousness, mind, the soul, or some other entity. In one or more successive existence, devas are the manifestation of Brahman that are active in the world that maintains the order.
In addition to what Kobe said, they also believe that to achieve the goal of humanity existence, to escape the cycle of reincarnation, and to join Brahman, it is called Moksha. Dharma is a duty or obligation that must be fulfilled to achieve Moksha. Lastly, they believe in karma. May kasabihan nga tayo, kung ano ang ginawa mo sa kapwa mo, ay babalik din sa'yo.
That is very informative, Mr. Verana and Mr. Aban.
But can we know some practices that even non-believers can do?
Yes, of course. Kobe, please explain it here.
If you see someone with special markings on their forehead, they are almost certainly Hindu. Some of the markings signify the kind of Hindu someone is. For example, 3 stripes across the forehead signifies that someone was at the Shiva temple that morning.
There is some religious significance to all these makings, especially the more elaborate ones, but the beliefs are less important than behavior. Hindu where making depends my moderation or connect me to the third eye of Shiva.
For the non-believers, if you are attending a function and someone is walking around putting a mark on everyone's head, feel free to accept it. No one will think you have converted to Hinduism. It's also fine to refuse if you are not comfortable. Non-Indian women can wear a bindi when they are out, especially if they are attending a function like a wedding, but it's best to only wear it with Indian clothes.
We also have worship events that even non-believers can attend. One of them is puja. A puja is a worship event for Hindus. Puja can be very short and simple of extremely elaborate. The most simple is the daily puja that women of the house performs. It might be as quick as a few minutes, or it might be go on for 15 minutes or more than.
For non-believers, if you are attending a puja, just stand politely. After the puja is finished, you may be offered some food or someone may want to make a mark on your forehead. Both of these are fine for you to accept or reject as you are comfortable, but your Indian friend would prefer you accept it. Also, since the home is seen as a kind temple, remember to take off your shoes when entering a Hindu home.
That is only some of practices that even non-believers can do.
Thank you for the information, Mr. Gurus. Before, I thought that non-believers are not allowed to participate the activities of Hinduism, but little did I know everybody is welcome, and that is very delightful to know.
Thank you.
Now let's proceed to Miss Romero. Can you tell us what is the impact of the pandemic on our health, especially sa mga highly at risk sa virus na ito?
Well, when it comes to the impact of this pandemic to our health, we always have 2 side effects. It's either positive or negative effect. So for the positive side of it, it taught us to love ourselves more and to appreciate every single thing that we have. And also it creates a bond together with our family that taught us to love them more. The negative side of this pandemic are, first, a lot of people lose their job because of maraming kumpanya ang nagsara dahil sa nalugi yung kanilang business. Also, maraming opportunity ang nasayang sa mga tao ngayon. Also, hindi na tayo pwedeng mag-gather up dahil we're avoiding social interaction sa tao. Also, we're avoiding to catch the virus.
I agree with you, Ms. Romero. We really need to take care of ourselves, lalo na't wala pang bakuna para sa COVID-19. Also, we need to take care of our mental health dahil grabing stress ang dinulot ng virus sa buong mundo.
True ka dyan, partner. Kaya kailangan talaga nating pang-ingatan at pahalagahan ang ating mga katawan at ang ating mga sarili. Dahil sa panahon pa naman natin ngayon ay mahirap na ang magkasakit.
Miss Romero, do you have any tips kung paano palalakasin ang immune system?
My only tips are, of course, drink water regularly, try to eat some healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, and as much as possible, please do exercise. Especially yoga. Yoga helps to concentrate your mind and to meditate. This new normal is taking a toll to our mental health, given that we're fighting our own battle, but still, to our dearest audience, I want you to engage yourself more on physical activity like cooking, baking, and try to discover new things for your own good.
Thank you, Miss Verano, for the tips. I will continue to make a lemon juice for myself and for my immune system.
You're welcome, no problem.
Moving on to our next topic. Ms. Gallo, from a political perception, what do you think the government can do about this pandemic, our situation, since it gotten out of hand?
From my point of view as a political analyst is first, government should provide help or ayuda to our citizens because most of the people lose their jobs. According to the latest survey in the Philippines, unemployment rate is to 8.7% in October. That means it's equivalent to around 3.8 million jobless Filipinos amidst the coronavirus crisis. So, giving ayuda is one of the best options to help our countrymen. Second, dapat mas lalo pa natin palakasin ang ating healthcare services at ang healthcare law dito sa bansa natin dahil tumaas na ang rate at meron na tayong 510,000 cases, 468,000 recoveries, at 10,136 na deaths. So, kasama na doon yung mga frontliners na namatay dahil sa exposure sa COVID and especially yung mga doctors. Then, third, LGUs must be active in attending the needs of their constituents, especially dun sa mga area na na-lockdown to secure their area from the risks of the virus.
Very well said, Miss Gallia.
Thank you so much.
Before we end the show, we would entertain some questions from our audiences.
Someone is raising their hand, partner. Yes, boy. What's your question?
May I just ask, what is the relation of Hinduism to the pandemic?
Magandang tanong yan. Partner, can you choose kung sino ang sasagot ng tanong niya dito?
Is raising their hand. I will choose him.
I think the relation of Hinduism to our current issue is we can achieve peace of mind through the help of their practices. For example, yoga or meditation. Yoga is a mental exercise that helps us to meditate and relax our body. Also, it teaches us to be kind and generous to other people in times of needs. Pandemic taught us to be selfless, generous, and be courageous enough to face our problems.
Thank you for the excellent answer. Give him a round of applause.
And thank you to our guest who joined us today. I enjoy our discussion.
Same here. But I'm sad to say that this is the end for today's episode.
We will see you again next time for another
Coffee? For